Welcome back, guys, to Trails Through Daybreak, where last episode, heading out into Ore Canyon so Rosette can report to her superiors, we witnessed the satellite contact is streaking through the night before joining up with Katala, who asked us to help find an unregistered individual who had entered the Institute. Having called the stealth-using CID Second Lieutenant Kayla, we started to work out what was really going on with the Orbital network in Basel. That was until a phone call came in from Professor Callaghans as we overheard an attack on the other end, responding too late with the Professor gone from a scene of destruction. With another day having begun and our ID card upgraded, we look for leads as to where he may have been taken after our morning sweep.
I see.
Okay. Let's explore Newtown yet again. Day 2 of Basel. A sweep is about to occur. Lots of things to do. Well, probably a 4 SPG to go with it, most likely. On top of everything. Lots of people in the store over there. Let's head along.
All right.
Let's begin with the talks, I guess, as we normally do. It's best to talk before we end up with a quest. Search for Professor Callaghans while patrolling Basel is the mission. Let's begin with cars. Basel's a hub city for many of the country's top manufacturers. The biggest names all have operations here. That's a big strain on the power grid, hence the massive orbital generator to keep it all afloat. It powers everything from manufacturing plants to research stations. Even the trains run on the generator. Single talk days we're about to begin by the look of it as well, now that we've been introduced to people. Our lights started flickering this morning and I'm not sure why. Surely the lamps aren't all going bad at once. We check them regularly. Oh, I'll have to lodge a ticket with the utility people. The issue is elsewhere. We've got our own problems dying out though. Our communications network got thrown out of whack here. I have a friend who works for a factory on the outskirts of town. Turns out their comms are all messed up too. I knew a lot of places got damaged, but I wasn't expecting that they'd get through to all the big factories and facilities too. The factories in the pavilion are constantly having their instruments checked. That's BX gives a sub, thank you very much. I'm hearing that the factory on the outskirts of town has been having power and comms trouble too. They're manufacturing our new model. It's supposed to go on sale in the spring. I hope they get that resolved soon, and that it doesn't spread.
It's the latest horrible car.
These are our car friends. That was really nice. Got to see the Z1 exhibit and everything. Probably best we head on home now, though. Yeah, I'm fresh out of travel money now. I really owe my uncle for that. Oh wait, that reminds me. He told me to say hello to a friend of his at the factory. He said he's a manager there. Go figure. He's got friends in high places. Sure, why not? I know it's kind of just an errand, but man, the thought of meeting a factory manager has me psyched. Right, I'm gonna ask if we can watch him work.
Alrighty.
My uncle wanted me to run some errands for him in exchange for covering my travel costs. Get this, one of his old friends is a factory manager, and I get to meet him. Think I'll get to watch him work too? I'll have to ask my uncle. Surely he can pull some strings for his super cute niece. I've been seeing a bunch of cops around here since this morning. Way more than usual. Did something happen? We better be careful just in case. I guess it wouldn't be a bad thing to check the 4 SPG board, considering we're not far away. I like how also I consider it the 4 SPG board when it totally is not a 4 SPG board. I got this report from the main branch that one of their terminals was acting up. I'm not sure what that's all about, but I hope it's just a technical gremlin and not a serious problem. But any downtime at all is bad business and bad optics. We better get it back up and fast or we'll lose more than just money. Maybe I should do this building too while I'm here. About Professor Callaghans. If you learn of his whereabouts, please let us know. We haven't been able to reach him. He's been our company advisor for years and years and now he's just gone. I can only hope that he's safe, wherever he is. What was starting decoding? When is everything's now related to Crossbow, by the way? You're like, what part of it? Indeed, this is likely the best compromise available. This should at least get the project off the ground. Well, frankly, I don't see what's in it for us. This is a big responsibility for little benefit down the river. That said, I've heard grumblings of a different project. I can try and pull some strings for you there. I appreciate it, but we should be fine. That project is a bit unique. Honestly, I don't know much about it myself. We don't know who's working on it. Whatever it is, it's highly confidential. So we'll see. I'm not privy to any of that info myself either. Every company has its secrets, but it's rare to run into a project even more confidential than our own. What are they up to there? I'm sorry, I can't go into more detail. This is a very strange project. I heard they've expunged all their international engineers from the project too. Now that piques my interest. I don't have any inroads there though. I can't brute force my way into that war room. Ooh. Very secret-y stuff. If they've got rid of all the foreigners. I want to keep it a national secret. I got in touch with Cindy for the first time in a while. Goddess almighty, it makes me sick to hear what that professor put her through. They said it was because she was the only woman in that lab, but that's no excuse at all. Her health really suffered because of it. Anyway, maybe I'll buy something from the drugstore as a little pick-me-up. Foreigners is a weird word to me now. Like, one is kind of exclusionary in a sense. But the main reason is, like, it used to be just a designation. Like, okay, you're not native. But now it comes with such connotations towards it, the way it's thrown around. That even me just saying it then, like, in that earlier sentence was just like, ooh, shall I say it? It's like, it's the way words get used nowadays. It sometimes make you go, oh. Luce is really cool. She's so calm and collected, and she's really good at what she does. She's like the opposite of me. I just go hopping from one odd job to another, but she's landed a dream job already. Maybe I should take notes and figure out what I want to do. You know, maybe I could just start working at the pharmacy. I think I'm on good terms with Luce now. Maybe she could teach me. Right, is there anything on the board?
All right.
So there's nothing in Newtown for us to do, which means we can commit wholeheartedly to Sweepy Sweep.
Aerotram's just awesome.
How's Elvis doing? Well, looks like you hit the nail on the head. This whole thing is linked to the Mafia. It's weird that, isn't it? How do you know? Freaking guild, you'll stick your noses in every damn corner, I swear. Oh, don't be sorry about it, bud. That's just what their comms network gets them. Yeah, I think it could be really useful for us too, if we just work together. You good there, guys? I don't remember them dogpiling on him like that. Are they picking up on his sarcasm? Anyway, we know what we got to do now. We're going to get our equipment sorted out, and then we move. You guys stay sharp out there. Beneath that prickly exterior, he really does care for us. Indeed, perhaps a certain Spriggan is rubbing off on him. We've got lives on the line here. Everything else can go on the back burner. Especially since this is the mob we're talking about here. Unfortunately, it's against guild regulations for B-ranks and lower to operate your own, so I gotta pair up. Don't get reckless out there. Loop back with the guild first, got it? Honestly, Elvis, you're out your depth. You need to get in the big guns, I'm sorry. Or at the very least a fee. How'd it come to this? No, maybe there's still time. We just need a hero. If memory serves, they work for a Vern Weapons R&D contractor. What happened here exactly? They look out of sorts. We're not allowed to know. Today, we finally meet with the Vern Company to hammer out a big partnership. Cooperation with the academic community is one of Vern's founding principles, so they're pretty receptive to the idea. It's just, as the foundation got cut out, things are being a bit dicey. But I can't let that get to me. I'm gonna ace this. Just rehearse and execute. Okay, maybe execute is a bit much, but I'll get it done, one way or another. I gotta focus on bringing everybody together, but can I? I heard Vern's offices were a mess this morning. No, bad thoughts. Don't overthink it. Just go.
Well.
It was bad enough trying to work through the network issues. It was driving our online reservation system haywire. We had double bookings, outages, random cancellations. It was a nightmare. We've never had to deal with anything like that before, and I hope we don't have to again. It's horrifically bad for ratings. All I care about is our TripAdvisor. We're actively searching for Callaghans, but it looks like the CID's already on the move themselves. The fact they're showing up means this ain't your everyday incident. There's got to be more to this. I hate entrusting things to them, but we're in no position to turn them down. Gotta love the interdepartmental strife that always takes place.
All right.
In justice-based institutes.
It's so convenient nowadays.
This is the Aerotram.
operated by the city
I heard
of
news of an
Basel.
incident at the Institute. Police were asking around for information and eyewitness
When boarding
reports.
the Aerotram,
We have logs of
please
everybody's
have your
Aerotram trips from their
authentication
certification
card ready
cards.
and follow the
You scan it to get on and
instructions
off.
of the attendant.
But we couldn't find anything that might relate to the incident. I'm sorry we couldn't be of any help.
Bound for the Artisanal District.
I'd be surprised then if there's no quest here. I'm expecting that board at the Institute's gonna have one. Not a single eyewitness report either. Nobody in town saw a thing. Aren't we just grasping at straws here? I guess we can try the workshop area in the airport. I don't know. I guess Blanca's right. There's always a stone unturned. Let's split up and do another comb through. I wonder if Alvis had got any leads yet. We should meet back up soon. Like 2 centimeters away. Go. Just far off over here. Races versus army versus police versus Spriggans. Battle Royale spin-off. I mean, there's not that many Spriggans that we know of. I'm from Le Mans, you see. It's a nation rich with lakes and gorges. Thus, fishing is a popular hobby there. I started early myself. I know I'm in denial. I know it's not healthy for me. But the truth hurts more. I'm sorry. Does anyone else have PTSD or anything like related to people in white coats fishing now? Remember the days where we used to think fishing people were innocent? They were all great. Instant distrust. No. Probably fine. They wouldn't do it again, right? The store's been hit by this orbital instability business too, so I went ahead and double checked our wiring. And as expected, our setup is perfectly fine. Something bigger going on in the city. Our manager's talking with HQ to try and get it fixed, but outside of that, there's nothing we can do. I'm not too familiar with urn weapons myself. Ah, interesting. I swung some Erebonian makes, and compared to those, these are much lighter and easier to carry. They just take out some of the bulk in exchange. I don't imagine they have stuff like the two-handers my grandfather used. Bit of a shame. Ah, kid knows his stuff. Not every day you meet a two-hander specialist. From what I heard, Julian hails from a line of renowned Erebonian swordsmen. Certainly looks the part. There's something strange about him, though. Can't put my finger on it. Eh?
Okay.
What's your last name? Incidentally, Red made for the Artisanal District, right? Maybe she's thinking to buy Tita a souvenir or something. I feel like I owe her one as well. She was a huge help last year. Tita? That name rings a bell, but I can't place it.
Indeed.
I'm so confused now. Am I missing something with you? Probably. That's not a door. Huh, what you doing there? What's with all the nuts and bolts there? Oh, are you modding your car? Modding sounds so illegal. I'm just tuning it. I can't beat you just by being a better driver. I need a better car too. Well, you're not very good at tuning either, though. Remember when you tried to fix the radio that one time? Shut up. You said you wouldn't talk about that again. Besides, your dad's workshop has been helping you with your car too, haven't they? It's only fair I get to work on mine. No, I don't mod my cars one bit. I thought I told you that. Wait, you don't? And how do they just... Do you really just drive them that good? Yeah, what's the point in buying a win when you can earn it instead? You're telling me I never stood a chance? All things equal, she still beats me. The guys at Dad's workshop have been teaching me about what parts do and how to mod stuff. It's really cool. But modding an RC car to be faster is kind of lame, so I keep it stock. I want to win fair and square. I thought everybody else was modding their cars, but nope. It was just me all along. I mean, just how the heck does Milia drive a car like that with no mods at all? Doesn't make sense. So like, Shinon won't move a reach. Julian went to go check out the weapons shop and he hasn't come back. Is it just me or am I the only one actually trying to study stuff here? Oh yes, what's your take? Well, who's to say? Also, he's just downstairs, basically.
Alrighty.
Not far away. Basically above him. Julian was telling me that honesty is what girls like. That you gotta be yourself, you know? That makes a lot of sense. From this day forward, I'm gonna be the most honest guy you've ever seen. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. So I was talking to the store manager a second ago, right? He said the latest consumer model orbal cameras can take video too, like movie cameras do. I'm sure the quality's not nice. Gotta make concessions for consumer grade stuff, but man, what if I can make my own homemade movies? I can't believe you could just do that now. I'm hyped out of my mind. Just think about it, my own movie, recorded and directed myself. Oh wait, is it really only the top end cameras that do that? And they cost how much? Ah, goddess, I'm gonna go mad. I'm gonna get my hands on one of those, but how? I wonder when Trails will catch up with certain modern day fads, if you know what I mean. That's not a door, something like that happened to work last Thursday, tried to walk through the door, hit a window instead. I mean, my wife's old store actually had one part of like, so there's a door like, you know, like over here, but the work area was like divided here with a wall, and this bit was like a door too, but the door couldn't actually go anywhere. So if you know what I mean, it has the appearance of a door, but it was actually a window / wall. There was no way in, no way out.
Very well.
The amount of people that even with a sign up there saying like, this is not a door, that would go ba-da-dum or walk into it. It was a trap door, literally. Workers everywhere have been grumbling about problems with their orbal equipment. I hope they get that fixed soon. It's been a headache for my husband too. Came into work and the machines at his workshop just wouldn't work. The distribution network seems really unstable right now. I'm worried it might affect our tuning service. I did some digging and I can confirm it's not just us. The whole city's running into issues. I contacted HQ about it, but they said they don't have a timetable. We might have to put them in the hot seat if this keeps up. I guess this is why like so many doors are automatic now, so you know, like, don't even try to open a door. You'll make a fool of yourself. It is the worst thing you could do, is opening a door now. We've already done the entirety of Newtown. Onwards to the Artisanal District. That was quick. Right, there is a 4 SPG to do, as well as a sweep in and of itself. I feel like we should finish the sweep first. To be honest, there's not that many people. Probably be done pretty fast. Trying to balance act when to do the quests so they fit nicely in episodes. Professor Callaghans undeniably smart, but all the same, he has a bad habit of panicking and rushing into bad decisions. That's always been his weak point, really. He has trouble stepping back and clearing his head.
Okay.
Kind of wondering if there'd be an event spot here, to be fair. Bleh, I had way too much to drink last night. There was a decent chance to shoot the shit with the artisans at least. They're a lot more relatable than I first thought. They take a lot of pride in doing their job right, just like I do. I'm supposed to be the middleman between them and the higher-ups, but looking back, I've just been pushing the higher-ups' agenda onto them. I gotta start listening to their side of the story, you know? Maybe they could do their job better that way. I'm glad that you weren't the kind of drunk that maybe forgets what happened. Because that was an important bonding talk, I feel. Man, I sat down with my son last night, but we still couldn't really see eye to eye on things. I can't figure out kid's worth a damn. I just want to help him figure out what path he wants to take in life. Workshop will let him find what works for him. But I can never get that through to him. Maybe I'm just not good at explaining it. Yeah, I can see how this workshop ended up the flag bearer for the whole Artisans Guild. Each of the other workshops we visited specializes in their own little niche instead of covering all the bases. It's all of them working together that makes Vern the powerhouse that it is, and the city along with it. Real big on tech, isn't he? Nerd. Yeah, he's always had an eye for those things. As a native of Basel, I'm happy to see people learn about what makes this place so nice. Nerd. We're browsing the Artisanal District at the moment. These workshops are quite impressive. Basel reminds me a lot of Zeiss. It's this factory city over in Labelle. And all these engineering types remind me of a certain old fellow too. Who would that be? Oh, nobody. You've gotten yourself wrapped up in yet more trouble, haven't you? Do be careful. That goes for all of you. We will. Don't worry. If we need your help, we'll let you know. Okay, who is this chick anyway? Suspicious with a capital S.
Indeed.
I like that. Talking about Labelle, you're always wondering, when will we go back there? When will we see bits of it again? Well, with a new remake that's coming, lots of people will get to start their adventure in 3D, or go back there if they wish. Hopefully there's like literally 0 additions, because that's how it should be, because the story is long running, but still. I'm glad I was able to chat with Yaskar while I was here. It would have been such a wasted opportunity otherwise. There's something else on my mind too. Something worrying. But it could just be nothing, of course. I'll have to poke around a little just in case. And the real question is if they do the entirety of the Sky Trilogy, when they come to a certain star door, what are they going to do? The Artisanal District has this unique vibe to it. It's so unlike the rest of the city, it's really charming. I just wish there weren't so many stairs here. It's fine when you can use the aerotram to get around, but when you can't, it's a nightmare. I get why, but still, could they not have built this city in the middle of a ravine? I imagine getting around town was even more difficult before cars and trams. It's a very sensitive topic after all. I almost feel like it's one that flew under the radar as well because of Trails being a lesser known series at the time, but now it's getting a bit more popularity. Thanks so much for letting me come along on this delivery. Oh, whoa, is that the top secret project over there? That's so cool. Easy boy, you're like a big old puppy. Even the small stuff on this job is serious business, you know. Gotta make sure we do every step right. I just feel nervous slotting you in a big project like that already. So if I can stop making you nervous, you'll let me on. I just gotta get better, right? I guess that's not the wrong way to take what I said. Just start looking before you leap. You gotta stop charging blindly into things, bud.
Very well.
Boy's optimism is probably his biggest strength. He always looks on the bright side of things. Just has a habit of rushing headfirst into everything. Makes for sloppy work sometimes. I wouldn't be so opposed to letting him work on his own if you could show me that he actually knows what he's doing. I'm really dying to take part in that project. I gotta hurry up and get smithing. The boss really doesn't like my work though. I do kind of feel like I'm rushing things, but how can I? He's always yelling in the background. Puts me on edge. Maybe there's a time or place where it's nice and quiet. I'll try and make some stuff then. And now we've got the remake talk started again, eh? Tarzan, if he wanted to do what's best for Vern, he'd grow a damn spine. I know, we can't know about every little under-the-table deal those billion subsidiaries are doing. But it's still his job to keep everything above board. He's got to stamp that crap out when he sees it. We at the Artisans Guilds are going to try and crack down on Callaghans. If Tarzan won't do it, we'll bring that blockhead down ourselves. We're starting with his supply chains. He might have shacked up in some abandoned warehouse somewhere. Tracking his purchases too. They're really going in. I heard about what happened over at the Institute. It sounds like the Artisans Guild is helping out however they can. I'm really worried for Katra though. And the Institute, we can't just let those goons take it over, or all of Professor Hamilton's work will go to waste. Riel let me come along like usual, but she said today she was scared to leave me at home. And everybody's kind of sad today, for some reason. I wonder what happened. I'm like, I want to stay like on topic for Trails Through Daybreak, but of course the fact that Sky's being remade is such a big topic to delve into. Some students from Agnès came by to visit earlier. I wasn't able to tell them much, but I did give them a general overview of what we do here. They were smart cookies, but one of them was leaps and bounds above the others. Hard to believe she was just a student. Even the supervisor was impressed. I don't know who that was. I mean, as I've said, from a Let's Player perspective, it's a bit of a shame because no one will want to watch my original ones of Sky anymore. Because why would you pick the old school look over, the original over the new 3D fancy, which looks really nice. Equally, I never thought those games had to be remade at all. Because the original games are great. And I just wanted them to be ported, which of course is the issue and probably why we're getting a remake in the first place, of course. The Xseed licensing, etc. Who knows exactly what went behind it. But it will bring in new players, hopefully. I mean, I know people that have been trying to get into the series, that now that this is coming out, they've got some excite for it. Because there are a lot of people that simply won't play those old style games over the new style, but then it leaves Crossbell in this weird limbo of being recently released in the West and in the old style and stuff. So they'd have to do that anyway. It's just like, how many games do they do? What games do they do? Is it FCSE? Is it Third 2? It's like so confusing. It's so confusing. Well, it will get a new audience into the game again, so that's always good. This series is growing. Otherwise, they wouldn't be doing that. That said, I always thought the games that needed the remake the most, if you're going to do it, the treatment, in terms of looks, etc., it's definitely Cold Steel 1 and 2. And what about those games? It really is the question. If we're about getting things on the Switch, if we're trying to get all the whole series on the Switch, Cold Steel 1 and 2 aren't there. They were in the same limbo. What do we do with them? Do we remake? Are they going to remake them too? It's just like Sky aged better than CS1 and 2 in terms of looks. Let's put it that way. So it just like, what's the overall plan? They'll take it as they come, I guess, but still, if you do FC, you've got to at least do SC. One of our guests was saying that our network issues have gotten even worse over the last day or so. Some people are just going off the grid altogether and staying offline until it all blows over. Ironically, our online ordering system is a bit more stable now. I guess there's less demand on the grid or something. Let's continue the sweep. That's my little bit of thoughts about it. Honestly, though, I think it's a great thing. It's going to introduce more people to this series that we enjoy. Those two siblings are like a whole routine in and of themselves. It never gets old watching them work the floor. The network issues here have messed up my itinerary today, so I'm just standing by here. But I'm not complaining. There's hardly a boring moment here with those two around. Just imagine, though, you get through the entire Sky Remake trilogy. And then, bang! You've all of a sudden got what by that time will be 2 Crossbelt games, 4 Cold Steel games, Reverie, and maybe 3 games in Calvard out, ready for you to play through. One, that would be crazy because it's over 1,000 hours more to play, but still, those people starting that late and going through the new remake stuff will be eating good after, won't they? No waits at all. Some of our guests have been talking about Giskar landing some big new project. It's a common story nowadays. There's lots of demand for research now, and that's good for spirits and business both. I like to think we've been helping them along in our own way. Now we've got to step up our game with their projects ramping up. They got to eat. It makes me all the more glad I got my brother to develop that online ordering system. It's a real lifesaver. And then on the other side, and I'll have to say this from the selfish perspective, for those of us who are doing Western releases and not fans translations, you've kind of got to hope that none of the new stuff that they're doing delays the future stuff. Please no! I've got a big meeting with a representative from Vern today. I really can't be bothered. If I'm being honest, I agree to the trip for pleasure first and business second. But I need to at least act like I care, or I can kiss any future business trips goodbye. I can't have that now, can I? I've got to suck it up and nail this meeting, if for nothing else, for securing cushy trips like these in the future. Elise has her priorities straight. I'm pretty sure we've already given in every SP report that we've done so far, yes? Oh no!
Gotta keep this up.
We're at 204 points. Oh, we just reached the rank. What did we get? I don't even remember now. Alright, let's finish off this sweep. Got the Institute next after all.
The goddess of the sky is
I heard that a professor from the Institute went missing. I can only pray that Adios extends her guiding hand to them. I'm far from an expert on the city and its customs, but I believe the goddess's light shines brightly here all the same. I will pray for the professor's safety today. I have heard about Professor Callaghans' disappearance as well. We have asked the congregation to share any hints toward his whereabouts, but we haven't learned anything so far. I did also hear that he'd been mistreating his assistants. I hoped it was only coincidence that his assistants looked exhausted whenever I would see them, but I was wrong, I see.
Well?
Yes, harassment central. The fact they still went back in there and did the job afterwards, though, means that they're incredibly professional. They didn't have to. Phew, even on a slow day I'm running all across town. Crazy to think this isn't even close to peak. Gillies say the online service is glitching out for some reason, so we're not getting as many delivery orders today. This goes to show how many people are using it. Now that it's bugging out, the whole system's backed up. They're incredibly good people that you shouldn't have harassed in the first place that you had working under you. Technology's really taken off, but it's always because of violence that it leaps like that. Indeed, the road to progress is paved in blood. Crossbow last year was proof of that. Never seen anything like it in all my years. I heard Callaghans was working like a man possessed in the days before he went missing. I can only wonder what he was working on. There's just something about his disappearance that gives me deja vu. Got a real bad feeling.
Very well.
And I guess we can't still go in here. And check out the house now. Oh look, actual pictures. Callaghans even in the picture. Wow, loads of pictures. Which is your room then? Does it not have some kind of... Oh, it's a bit framey in here, but I'm wondering if it would have some kind of special charging device. Haha. Laboratory, chess set. Even more pictures. I mean, the same pictures to be fair. I think this would be the professor's room. Considering it leads straight onto this. So I have a feeling this is Kiddo's room. Probably, especially with the Z1 poster. Katara. Alright, who do we still need to talk to? Where are you? You're under me. You're the bracer. You're the receptionist. That's the one. I mean, we haven't talked to Blanca either, I don't think. But we're about to take a 4 SPG very shortly.
This tram is bound for the Basel.
I just got back from a delivery to the Institute, but it sounds like something big went down there now. The heck did I miss? It was in the special research building, I heard. Average Joes aren't even allowed in there. I don't want to be a thorn in their side while they're dealing with all that. What's a delivery boy to do?
By the city of Basel.
Guess I'll just have to sit tight for now. Maybe get the supplies to someone in charge.
Please have your authentication.
Oh wow, I never even noticed these pictures? That's why I do the sweep. We're
What to do?
sniffing the coffee in the morning, I guess. I've reported... not the roses. I've reported all this to the Edith branch and brought Zin up to speed. They said they're going to try looking into the Ankerville company for us too. I investigated them myself and I learned that they've been bringing this suspicious freight truck into the city lately. I'll have to look into that more. Could it be related to Armada's dealings with Professor Callaghans? We need to be proactive here or we'll have another Farbad on our hands. Stay sharp, everyone. Well, actually, it must be way worse than Farbad? I don't know. In the end, with Farbad, they seem to want to get up to hijinks. More than anything, testing stuff. Here, we're literally dealing with, like, weaponry and things. The guy is a professor making weapons. That's not going to go down well, I don't think. Right.